I don't even care about the comments, but that just irked me. My bad. Let me get this super chat real quick. Gary Grant with the $22 super chat. What up, though?
Shit like that.
Mr. Chaotic, I see you like to disrespect my country. Thank you. What up, my little brother Hint? What's good? Uh-oh. Mr. Grant coming for you, CT. Roz Girl with the $10 super chat. I'm Caribbean/American. And I totally agree with Chaotic, a comedian Q Turner. Any thoughts on the super chats? You on mute, CT?
No, go ahead, Q.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's why I said I think Love had the most insight. Like, it's really an American thing. To that point, you mean to tell me all the white people that done went to your Airbnb, they ain't never had no wild parties, trash shit, left hair and bullshit all over the place? Like, you really just had a major attack for black people, and then to put that, like, you just gonna say, oh, I don't want black Americans at my place because black Americans act this way of black Americans. No, Americans can act very entitled going places. Let's just keep it a buck.
She didn't say she didn't want them there though, Q.
I thought she did say that.
She said they be acting up the most.
That did anybody else understand that she didn't want to rent to them anymore?
She said some black Americans in a longer version.
Oh, okay.
But
I could acknowledge what Asia said though, or Love, I'm sorry. What she said in reference to Americans, we are very entitled when we travel places. But again, being specific to the question that is coming up and the topic that we were talking about, she is speaking on her experience. And again, that's not to also, we have to also understand that this is a perception that is had about Black Americans, whether we agree with it or not, whether we feel that way. This is a perception that people have about us as a culture. And that's not something to be ignored. I'm saying that we are in this conversation. I'm just saying in general. Yes, Leon.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alex, because we've been on for 44 minutes now, and this is a classic example of what liberals do. They try to confuse us, and they try to distract us from what the main talking point should be. The main talking point should be, well, do Black folks have issues in this country that they need to address? Do Black folks need to be accountable? Yes. And we went completely away from that because we're too far focused on what China's doing, how crappy Jamaica is. We're focused on all these non-issues instead of focusing on the main reason why this woman didn't want to rent her Airbnb out to Black people, which is rooted in truth.
Gunny.
It's rooted in truth that we just don't even talk about.
Gunny.
We haven't been talking about it the whole time.
Gunny.
Alex is the only one that's been bringing it up. Everybody else has been talking about every other issue other than what we should be talking about.
I am willing to bet through data the number one tourist in Jamaica in terms of racial demographic are not African Americans. I'm almost willing to bet it's not a horde of African Americans traveling. First of all, I think you need your passport to go to Jamaica, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Most Black Americans don't even have a goddamn passport. Let's be honest. And let's be honest. I have a lot of friends who went to Jamaica. And they're Black. They refuse to leave the resort because Jamaica's so goddamn violent. So I don't know what this lady is talking about. I think this lady is lying. And what I'm trying to say, Gunny, I get what you're saying. Trust me. If anybody, likes talking about African-American niggas, is me. But in this instance, I cannot let this lady do this because it starts with talking about the easiest group in America, the Blacks. Then she'll start talking about other groups. And then she'll start talking about America. America is a target for people to talk about and disrespect because we allow it as Americans. I'm tired of being disrespected by foreigners. We give these people foreign aid. Jamaica would not be a nation state if it were not for American tourism. Let's be honest. And the nerve of these people. It just, again, I said it like 40 minutes ago. There's this British dude who called into my channel. I said, Happy Memorial Day. He said, oh, yeah, your army's pretty much trash. I'm like, my army's trash? You be speaking German if it wasn't for my army, sir. You'd be saluting the Fuhrer. He's been dead for 80 years. I can't stand people who are not American disrespecting this country. That's all I'm saying, Gunny. I get what you're saying, but I think this lady is lying. Show me some video footage of these African Americans. Drop their names. Why doesn't this Jamaican lady drop the names of these African Americans who demolished her stuff?
Okay, so really quick, if I can ask you this quick question. Do you think that Black Americans, based on your point, do you think that Black Americans have earned the bullseye on our backs?
No.
You think we've earned it?
When it comes to international travel, the worst, you go on YouTube, you go on stats, the worst travelers are Chinese. They literally defecate on the streets in some places.
Okay.
The worst travelers they've never been.
Gunny, we earned that shit, Gunny. We earned that shit. To see a whole black family getting a fucking brawl at Disneyland a couple years ago is fucking disgusting. That was all over the place. So we definitely earned that shit, Gunny. Word.
See, this is what
Absolutely.
I'm saying. See, you guys think American, it's just like Travis Scott. He went over to Japan. Nobody knew him. Man, don't nobody watch y'all, man. You think the world knows you? The world doesn't know you. You're not that important in the grand scheme of the global marketplace. I understand you guys probably think you're dude, but ain't nobody thinking about no African Americans, man. And you think people in Ukraine who are getting their faces blown off are thinking about some African Americans? You think people in Bosnia are thinking about some African Americans? Ain't nobody thinking about you. You think Uyghurs in China are thinking about you? You think Japanese? There ain't nobody thinking about no African Americans other than African Americans in Africa. I mean, in America.
So then why are there so many liquor stores in Black communities? Why are there so many Black hair product stores in Black communities if no one outside of this country is thinking about us?
Drinking alcohol in America, sir? Don't you like drinking?
Yes.
If I came to America and somebody told me, hey man,
shit like that, shit like that, shit like that, shit like that, shit like that.
Sir, outside of America, man, you're not that important, sir. People are going through religious conflicts. In Sudan, sir, they have a war-torn government. They ain't thinking about no African Americans, man.
Sir, there are programs in place in other countries that give classes to people who are trying to migrate to our country about what communities to open businesses in.
Okay,
and the Black community is at the top of that list, sir.
Name the program. What's the name of the program?
I don't know the name of the program.
Then why mention it if you don't know? Sir, then why mention it?
That's why I said programs.
Sir, with my family. Oh my God, sir.
That's why I said programs.
What's the name of the program?
It's nothing specific.
What is the name?
That's why I said that's why I put the word. That's why I put the letter S on the end of it. I said programs.
What's the name of the program?
There are programs in place. I can't name a specific foreign program that targets the Black community and why. Hold on, sir. I can't name a specific program in other countries that target our communities, but I'm from this country just like you are. So I can look at our communities and I can see why are there so many Korean Americans in our community?
Don't you like drinking? If I came to America, which is a free market society, and I noticed that Blacks love drinking, I'm gonna open up a liquor store too. Ain't nobody gotta open up. You think it's pro? You think
that's general knowledge?
You think that the Korean government, sir? I'm sorry. Let's Middle Easterns. You think that Middle Eastern governments have programs in their country sponsored by the state that teach them how to exploit Blacks?
Why not? What are you talking about?
What's the name of it then? What's the name of it?
I don't know the name of it.
Why did you mention it if you don't know the name?
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
It's common sense. Are you from the hood, sir? Are you from the hood? Are you from the hood?
Gunny.
Are you from the hood, sir?
Gunny.
If you're from the hood, you can go on any corner and you'll see a Korean store, you'll see a Japanese store, you'll see an Asian food market, you'll see these businesses operated by people who are not from our communities. You think that's coincidence?
Correct.
And you're trying to ask me a gotcha question that act like you're. Come on, bro.
Could it be, sir? Elijah Muhammad, who died before you were born, who created the Nation of Islam in the 40s, almost 100 years ago. before Arabs, before all these people came over here, said the same thing about the blacks. They love drinking, they love doing drugs. Sir, all you gotta do is come to America. Don't you blacks talk about it? Don't you sing about it? Ain't no programs. They ain't gotta do no programs, sir. You come here and see Negroes. They love drinking and smoking weed. What are you talking about? They rap
So it's
about
all
it.
coincidence then. It's all coincidence that Asians own businesses in the hood. That's all coincidence.
No,
You go to
your
every hood in America. That's just a coincidence.
It's
I got a
it's because your grandfather sold his store to the Koreans, sir. Let's be honest.
Why did he sell it?
Because just like most Negroes, you give them a large sum of money, they'll take it. But what does this have to do with
Knock it off, dude.
Oh
Knock
my
it off.
God. That ain't what
All right.
happened.
Knock it off, bro.
Q, let me
Knock
get
it off, bro. You go to any hood in America and you'll find
y'all
a
listen.
store run by an Asian
Y'all-
on every
Gunny,
freaking
Gunny,
corner in
Gunny.
every hood in the
Fault,
country.
sir, that ain't got nothing to do with any. That's your fault.
Yo,
Why
y'all,
you
all
going?
right, y'all.
Okay, go ahead.
I get. I'm telling you, man. Y'all motherfuckers just talking, man. God damn. Yeah, y'all acting like niggas, man. No decorum, just yelling and fussing. Jesus Christ. Q, final thought on this, cause them two niggas in the bottom corner. God damn it.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it back to I wanted to bring it back to the video. I didn't know if anyone else picked up on it, but the video itself was giving propaganda like vibes. You know what I mean? Like if you really looked at it, this lady's talking, she's showing the I guess the property that she's referencing, and it's given this completely different image of America, you know, like America has a lot of buildings. I should say a lot of times when we think of America, we think of the city, right? The city has buildings, concrete. She's showing you the beauty that is Jamaica. There's trees and there's all this land. And then like right at the end, she takes a swim or something, I think. And it's like, so you're kind of selling this image of superiority. Like we're so much better than you Black Americans. And that's a place that if people are going to think of Black folk, you kind of want them to I don't want to say idolize, but look at Jamaican people as a superior people in comparison to these Black Americans that you're speaking of. And I really like that a lot.
Interesting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Let me read a couple super chats real quick. Shout out to my boy Lance, Lance just subscribed, right, Q?
Yep, he just subscribed.
Shit like that. Shit like
Word.
that. Shit
Stir
like
the
that.
pot,
Shit like
CT.
that. Shit like that.
Roz, the girl with the $10 super chat. I would never patronize a Black Jamaican Airbnb. That woman spoke enough for the masses of Jamaica. Whether she said some or not, she specifically said Black Americans. All right. Appreciate you, Roz, girl. Will with the $5 super chat. Let's not pretend that if a white person made the exact same argument about African Americans, we wouldn't feel different. And LaShawn with the $5 super chat. I think he talking to Yatu in the corner. Communication, the imparting or exchanging of information or news.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit
Hey,
like
man,
that.
hit that like button, man. We got 113 people in here. We have somebody fill me in on the likes. I'm not on the other screen, but we got to get them up, man. That's what helps the channel the most.
Peace.
And we out.
Thank you guys so much.